Well, Boise, Idaho, as we sit here on this fabulous Monday, welcome to Prater the Ballgame, Idaho Sports Talk. Okay, Boise, Idaho, you have a nationally recognized football program again. You are back in the national conversation. You have a mega-sized game coming up on a Friday in Las Vegas with the other really good team in your league. You have a front runner for the Heisman Trophy. I mean, look at everything this season has given you so far. We love it here on Idaho Sports Talk. Prater in the Ballgame. Prater, we had a chance to talk with Spencer Danielson and Dirk Cutter. You'll hear from Spencer Danielson here in a second on the show. But, I mean, here it all is. Look what's ahead of this team. Look where they've been at the halfway point. This is a pretty good time to stop, smell a thing or two, and say, wow, what a terrific season this has been, man.
What happens when Boise State beats UNLV on Friday night? Things are going to really explode. Ball game. That's the big one.
Is that where you are? When? It's not if, it's when for you?
Oh, I don't know. I just kind of threw that out there to suck up to BSU fans. But I think Boise State's going to win this game. I think they're the better team, and they certainly got the better player. But the Ashton Genty of college football plays on the other side for UNLV, and we're certainly going to get into Jackson Woodard and what he's doing on defense over there. That's going to be the first time Jackson Woodard and Ashton Genty clash and collide. We're going to feel it here in Boise time, 2 to 5 Vegas time, in front of about 100 Boise State fans. Bronco Nation News, Simon from Coca-Cola is all part of this deal as well. From Bar Canada at the D Hotel. It's a sister property of Circa. It's right across the street there from Circa. Circa's got a lot of stuff going on this weekend, so we're moving across the street to Bar Canada, which I've invited in Bar Canada a few times. You're going to love it there, Ball game. I'm not sure if you've been there, but it's got a really cool sports bar. It's got a really cool bar period. It's got a really cool sports book. The D is a pretty cool place, and then we're going to rush over to the Allegiant Stadium after the show, and then we'll host Bronco game night right after Bob and Pete, right there from the press box at Allegiant Stadium till about. What time does this thing start?
What time are we leaving Allegiant Stadium, you think?
What time does this game start? 9?
It's 8:30.
8:30?
Mountain Time on CBS Sports Network.
7:30, so 8, 11, 1 o'clock.
Right, 1 o'clock Pacific.
1 o'clock local time in Vegas, between 1 and 1:30.
Did you say Bar Canada too?
Yes, sir.
Do the workers there wear like Canadian tuxedos at Bar Canada?
I don't know what a Canadian tuxedo is, but I don't remember what anybody was wearing. I just remember hanging out there. It's a pretty cool little space.
I like when I can bust you on.
Is that the bolo tie
terms?
Thing? Is that the bolo tie thing that hockey players wear?
No, but Canadian tuxedo. This reminds me of when I talked to you about the term Irish twins on the air. And you had to look it up, and you're like, "Oh yeah, that is what Irish twins mean." I've never heard of that before. It's basically when you have siblings who are like less than a year apart. They call them Irish twins, but this case, a Canadian tuxedo, Prater. It's all denim. It's jeans with a jean jacket. It's just the denim on denim. You probably rock that good for the group of 5, Prater. I mean, only if both teams are undefeated, but next best thing, both teams with just the one loss, and plenty to talk about. Spencer Danielson talked about Barry Odom, who, Prater, 15-6 at UNLV. No one is doing that in Vegas. Barry Odom, that's his record. And Spencer Danielson, very, very impressed with UNLV's head coach. He had this to say about why they've been so successful these past 2 years.
I got to say, just gritty. I mean, you look at, in all 3 phases, it's just gritty. And what I mean by that, Mike, is, they just find ways to make plays, to do it for each other. They on the road beat Houston, beat Kansas, beat Oregon State, and other those are big time. I'm shocked they're not ranked in the top 25. They deserve that for sure. And they play hard. Once again, in all 3 phases, they blocked multiple punts for touchdowns. Their best players play on special teams. Ricky White, one of the best receivers in the country, is playing on special teams. Number 21, one of their best receivers, one of the top returners in the country, right? That's a mentality of a team. They're a close-knit crew. and they are gritty and play tough. I mean, they've been down in games. They fight their way back to go dominate and win. I mean, I got a ton of respect for how he runs that program and their entire team in all three phases. Like, that's what I see is this is going to be an absolute heavyweight fight. And I know they'll be absolute ready, and we got to work our tails off too. This is a really good football team. I mean, when I meet with our coordinators and I watch it holistically in all three phases, Barry Odom, his coaches, his players, they bought in. They are on a mission. They know everything's in front of them. And this is a big time game. It's the biggest one for all of us because it's the next one. But obviously going down to their stadium to play them, it's something we're really excited for. But I got so much respect for him and how he trains his team, and I know they will absolutely be ready Friday night.
There you go. There you go.
That would worry me a little if I'm a Boise State fan. Like, okay, UNLV they are for real. The ball feels like it just bounces their way. You were talking about the turnovers they've been able to produce this year defensively, 13 interceptions. Like, it just feels like, yeah, they do it offense, defense, special teams. They're tough. They believe in each other. And yeah, the ball just seems to kind of bounce their way sometimes.
I'm going to buy all the hyperbole that I hear from UNLV and from coaches all week long. I think UNLV really is good. First of all, you and I are biased. We love Barry Odom as the coach and think he's doing a fantastic job. We have put in an official request and haven't been denied yet. So we're hoping to get Coach Odom on a short week. That's the issue with coaches on a short week and the time. So defensively, 13 interceptions already this year. Boise State has one.
Wow.
And if you had a couple of games from last year, they still have one. So it's a massive problem for Boise State. UNLV's played 3 home games. They've scored 72, 59, and 41 points.
That's real, dude. Those are big time point production outputs, Prater.
Yeah, they beat Fresno State and they beat Fresno State 59-14. I mean, that's crazy. I'm not sure how they lost to Syracuse.
Yeah.
44-41. Things got a little squirrely. I think that they're better. They've scored 83 points in the last 2 games with Malik it's Haj Malik is the first name.
Yes, Haj Malik Williams.
For a minute there, I thought it was Malik Williams. But yeah, Haj Malik is the first name. Williams is the last name. He's made these guys better offensively, and we're going to hear from Spencer as well. But offensively, this guy is a much better quarterback than Saluki is. Saluka, whatever.
I just call him Salukis.
Yeah, I just call him the quitter.
Yeah,
the quitter. Since the quitter left the team. And so I'd be really worried. I mean, that place is going to be juiced. It's going to be jacked. It's going to be a late night game.
You're buying that? Like this atmosphere is going to bring it.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's the top. I think the top row. Allegiant Stadium is in 3 different levels, and I think the first 2 levels are going to be open and fairly packed and fairly loud. I don't think they're opening the top level yet, but I'll look into that and see how that is. They just don't support them that well. But yeah, I think it's not going to be a bad atmosphere. It's going to be perfectly fine.
Awesome. I can't wait. That's what we want. 208-424-9300. We'll check in on the Double Tap Pub hotline a little later this hour. Get your calls. Make them ready. We want to talk Boise State, UNLV. Prater mentioned the quarterback switch. Spencer Danielson, who's seen this play in, play out. He's seen every play UNLV has ran this year. So Spencer Danielson said his thoughts were on the change at quarterback and the impact it's had on UNLV football.
I don't know the inner workings of their locker room. Like I said, I think the world of Coach Odom. But number 6, Williams, I mean, he has put the team on his back. He's made the exact plays. He's one of the highest rated quarterbacks on the West Coast right now. Makes great decisions with the football. I mean, one of the most athletic quarterbacks, and we've seen some athletic ones. He's one of the most athletic ones we've seen all year on film. I mean, it is a nightmare to get him down the pocket. And when he takes off, it's not like he's going to take off and get 5 or 6. He's taking off for an explosive run. They've got design runs for him, too. He can make all the RPO throws. He can make the deep throws down the field. And he's got weapons all over the place. I mean, when you see their offense, they got a really good, well-trained offensive line, physical at the point of attack. And they've mixed in triple option looks. They got shots down the field. They got RPOs off it. They got a lot of different formations. So it's a very well-run offense. A bunch of tempo is going to be mixed in. So I think, when number 6 came in, however it all went down, like I said, I'm not privy to that. I mean, that team's rallied around him, and he's a team guy. I mean, every time he scores a touchdown, I watch TV copies to see how guys are. He's celebrating with his teammates. He's finding teammates to go celebrate with. Like, that shows that's a close team.
Spencer Danielson there. Now, Haj Malik Williams, the UNLV quarterback, is completing 71% of his passes this year. Sluka was at 44. Okay. That is a massive, massive, massive upgrade. I'll use a Prater. I'll say the same word 3 times. I love it. How How about this, Malik Williams? 10 touchdown passes already, only 2 interceptions. That's Maddox Madsen type of efficiency. What does he do on foot? Well, he's UNLV's second leading rusher with 390 rushing yards and 4 rushing touchdowns.
He's number one. He leads the team in rushing.
In rushing yards.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. He does. He's got more than Jaden Thomas.
He's the number one rusher.
And he hasn't even played full time this year.
No.
This guy could be a problem, Prater. And people are like, well, Boise State runs the ball very, very, very well. Second in the nation. UNLV isn't far behind. UNLV averages 251 yards rushing per game.
5.7 a carry.
That's huge, man. That's big time. Boise State's defense is going to have to bring its lunch pail on this sucker, Prater. And if you're holding, we're going to get to you. Stay on hold. We will get to you, Prater.
And we haven't even told you the scariest part, because when you come back, we're going to tell you about the best offensive player and special teams guy at UNLV who's scary, and then the defensive guy. He's also very scary. So we just gave you the quarterback and the coach, the special teams, offense and defensive stars. Woo! This is a big game on Friday night.
What do you guys want? What do you guys want everybody else to know? 208-424-9300. Give us a call and let us know. With the Heisman race in Vegas, are you going to put money on Genty? How much? Boise State's defense, what do they have to do? We want your thoughts. We're talking Boise State, UNLV, right here on Idaho Sports Talk. Prater in the ball game.
This is Ticket Traffic.
New trouble spot if you normally use Eagle.